Conservative New Media viewers, JLin fans around the world, LA Lakers fans around the world. What's up? It's me, PFE, Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. We're here to discuss the Lakers' 100-93 loss tonight to the Dallas Mavericks at Staples Center, Los Angeles, California. With a defeat, the Lakers dropped to 16-46 on the year. Mavericks improved to 41-24 on the season. What happened in this game? What happened was that the Lakers had control of this game pretty much going into the fourth quarter. They were up by 2 points, and they had a nice little groove going. They were in control. But then the Dallas Mavericks turned up the defensive pressure in the fourth quarter. The Lakers scored only 16 points. They were outscored by 9 points in the quarter. And basically, LA just faltered down the stretch. And that's essentially what happened. Dallas needed this game. And this is what you get when you have a team that is fighting for a playoff seed or playoff spot going against a team that is kind of trying to do well, but they're also kind of trying to tank. And Dallas just wanted the game more, and they executed better, and they won. So that's basically what happened. Okay, let's go over stats quickly. Dallas was led by Monte Ellis, 31 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Monte had something like 4 or 5 points in the first half, and so he went nuts in the second half, and honestly, nobody could stop him, and that's really not surprising. He's incredibly quick and athletic, and Lakers just couldn't slow him down very much. Al-Farouq Aminu, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 6 steals. Dirk Nowitzki, 12 points, 4 rebounds. Chandler Bieber Parsons, 11 points, 6 rebounds. For the Lakers fans, I call him Bieber. That goes back to Lin fans in Houston. Okay, for the Lakers had 5 players in double figures. Carlos Boozer led that group with 17 points and 8 rebounds off the bench. Wesley Johnson, 15 points, 4 rebounds. Jordan Clarkson, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Jordan also had 4 turnovers. Wayne Ellington, 13 points, 5 rebounds. Ed Davis, 10 points, 8 rebounds. Jeremy Lin, 7 points in 24 minutes played. 1 of 6 from the field, including 0 of 1 from three-point range. 5 of 6 from the free throw line. 2 rebounds, 5 assists. 1 steal, 0 block shots, 3 turnovers, 5 personal fouls, and Jeremy's plus-minus was a +1. He was one of only 2 Lakers who had a positive plus-minus in this game. The other was Jordan Hill, who was a +4. I said what happened overall in this game. I mentioned what the stats were for Jeremy. Let me just say this is the only video of the game I'm going to make. I may go to just one video for the games the rest of this season. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how it plays out. So I'll kind of make them, when I do one video, I'll try to make it like a medium length, maybe 20 to 30 minutes or something like that. I won't go over quarter by quarter stuff, but just more of an overview, but a little bit more than I would do in a traditional short video that's maybe 7 to 10 minutes. Look, I know a lot of people are disappointed in terms of Jeremy Lin fans. I can't really fault Jeremy in this game. Okay, his shot was off. This was, I think, the second game in a row where his shot is off. That just comes and goes. You can't control that, particularly for somebody like Jeremy who's still working to perfect his outside shooting, working on his perimeter one-on-one moves, and working on things like floaters and runners. You're going to have tough shooting nights. That's the way it is. And you're going to have great shooting nights. So I can't get down on him for that. That's just something that's going to happen. The 3 turnovers were not bad turnovers. I'm not saying they're great, but they weren't bad. They were aggressive turnovers. They weren't careless, foolish turnovers. The first turnover, He was double teamed on the left side of the free throw line about. He was trying to make a pass into, I think it was Carlos Boozer. And the shot clock was running down, and he had to do something. He couldn't shoot. He wasn't in a position to shoot. He tried to make a pass, and it got picked off. It wasn't a great play, but he had to do something. Now, ideally, like I've said before, if you can shoot rather than possibly get a turnover, shoot. But he was double teamed, and he really didn't have an angle to shoot. If he would have shot, he would have gotten blocked. So, okay, it happens. The second turnover, I think it was Monte Ellis who stole the ball. Jeremy actually had a good driving lane from right around about 50 degrees left of the top of the arc. And he saw it and he knew it. And I think he went to go with his left hand. And I believe it was Monte just picked the ball out from him. It was just a good defensive play. And Dallas had a number of very good defensive plays in this game. They were stripping the ball from the Lakers a lot. And that's what happened to Jeremy on that play. But it wasn't a silly turnover. It was an excellent defensive play. The third turnover, Jeremy got a charge. And somebody said on Twitter that it looked like Jeremy got tripped. And he fell into Rajon Rondo, who was standing stationary. But then at the end of the play, Jeremy got elbowed in the face. And he had a bloody nose and he had to come out of the game. So, I mean, it's hard for me to be upset at Jeremy because he got elbowed in the face and tripped. So this is only the second time in the last 10 games, which is the Linsanity Prime framework, in which Jeremy has had 2 or more turnovers. So one of the games he had 3 turnovers, and tonight he had 3 turnovers. You can't be perfect. You will have bad shooting nights. You will have turnover nights. The way that you keep your averages good is you play with the mindset where you're going to consciously limit your turnovers. And that's what Jeremy's doing. But you will have nights like tonight where you're going to get a couple turnovers, even if you try to play smart. And that's what happened. So this gets balanced out with the 0 turnover nights and the 1 turnover nights. But I still am happy about this game from a JLin observer perspective because the mindset was correct. He was looking to get the team involved. He wasn't making foolish passes. He wasn't making foolish shot attempts. He scored 7 points on 6 field goal attempts. That's not great, but it's not terrible, particularly when your shot's not falling. He was aggressive. He got to the free throw line. Okay, your shot's not falling. Find other ways to score. Drive to the basket and get fouled. And that's what he did. So, look, this game's not going in the JLin video highlight package and the time capsule for him, but it's okay. It's not a thing. And as I said on Twitter, Jeremy doesn't need to score a lot right now. If he's content to pass, looking to play the traditional point guard role, which is what Byron wants, and quite honestly, it's what GMs around the league want to see from Jeremy, which is not a lot of shots. If they're not there, if they're there, then take them. There weren't a lot of shots available to Jeremy tonight. There really weren't, in my opinion. Move the ball around, make good passes, and try to keep your turnovers down. And that's what he did. That's what he set out to do. Okay, you had a couple of turnovers. It happens. The shot wasn't falling. That happens. The key for Jeremy now, when you have a game like this, is move on from it. Don't think about it, or don't let it become like the trend, the new trend. Just say, it happened. Okay, forget about it and go on to the next game. That's the lesson or the test for JLin coming out of this game. And I don't think there'll be any problem with that because he approached the game properly. Just the results weren't what he wanted. And again, a lot of it has to do with Dallas, and that's it. Now, people on Twitter mentioned that Byron wasn't calling a lot of pick and rolls for Jeremy, And in the lead up to this game, there was a couple articles written. One written by Mark Bresnahan, or Mark or Mike? Mike, I believe. I'm sorry, I can't remember. Of the Los Angeles Times saying, oh, Byron doesn't want Jeremy to run as many pick and rolls. And Jeremy's, I don't know, just this kind of putting down Jeremy and elevating up Jordan Clarkson and all of this. Look, to be honest with you, if Jeremy's doing, we've talked about this in recent videos. Is the team running more pick and rolls? And is this what's happening? Is this why Jeremy's doing better? Well, I think some of that is true. But even if it's not true, then it's even better because it shows that Jeremy, or it would show that Jeremy can do well without the pick and roll. So that's, honestly, in my opinion, that'd be even better. I think we wondered if this recent Linsanity Prime resurgence was going to change the mind of the Lakers and maybe Byron Scott. And are they going to want to keep Jeremy around now? Well, in the article by Bresnahan, it was kind of like, well, Jordan Clarkson's a lot cheaper than Jeremy was likely to be. And they've got Jordan Clarkson under contract, under a rookie contract that's really cheap. So basically, they don't need Jeremy Lin. Well, if that is the case, then we look more like Jeremy's on his way out. Now, I don't know what's going to happen, but that's kind of the tone that the article had. Now, Mark Medina wrote another article in the LA Daily News, and he was saying that Byron feels like the pick and roll play hinders or slows down ball movement, and Jeremy didn't agree with that. And Joyce Ward tweeted to me that like half of the teams in the league are running pick and rolls plays, or half of the plays are pick and roll plays, and a lot of the top contending teams use them. I agree with that. Pick and roll play is kind of the spread the ball, move the ball, Mike D'Antoni thing. Now, you don't have to do pick and roll. It doesn't all have to be pick and roll. Like the Spurs and the Hawks move the ball a lot, and it's not all pick and roll. It can just be passing. But pick and roll, I mean, the NBA is a pick and roll league that is heavily used. So if Byron doesn't want to play pick and roll, well, then I guess that's another kind of indication that perhaps this isn't the spot for Jeremy Lin. And this is what we're going to have to go through here, okay? If you're a Jeremy Lin fan, we've got 20 games left after tonight's game. There's going to be maneuvering and positioning by the different parties involved in terms of, well, what's the story about Jeremy Lin? He's doing well. Do we really want him back? Does Jeremy want to leave? Does he want to stay? You know, so people have to get their own version of the story out. The story that seemed to be coming out of the Bresnahan article was, yeah, Jeremy Lin's doing better, but Jordan Clarkson's kind of overshadowing him, which I completely don't agree with that at all. And Jordan Clarkson's cheaper. So even though we know Jeremy Lin's pretty good and he's kind of earned himself more of a chance in the league, yeah, we're probably going to go with Jordan Clarkson. What are the Lakers thinking? I don't know. I could see them thinking that, though. And based upon how Byron has been the whole season, you could easily see him doing a lineup of Jordan Clarkson and Ronnie Price next year. Does Jeremy fit in that picture? Probably not. So, but I know there's a lot of fans that want Jeremy in LA. I have no idea what's going to happen. So I'm not making a prediction here. It's just based upon these recent statements in the last few days and these recent articles. It kind of seems like, well, you know, maybe they're kind of setting that up, even though Jeremy is clearly taking his game up. Maybe the Lakers still don't want to bring him back if he wants to be a starter and if he wants starters' money. So I don't know. We're just going to have to see what happens. And I will say this with Clarkson, and I said it on Twitter, and I don't want to put Jordan down. I like Jordan, and Jordan and Jeremy get along well. Jordan struggled in the fourth quarter of this game. He took 2 shots, missed both of them. Was 1 of 2 from the free throw line, so he had 1 point. He played the last about 5 minutes of the game. He came in for Jeremy when Jeremy got the nosebleed off of the charge. So 1 point, no rebounds, no assist, 0 of 2 field goal attempts, 1 of 2 free throw attempts, 2 turnovers. He struggled down the stretch. So if the Lakers, look, Jordan's a rookie, so this is going to happen. I mean, we're not trying to, again, I don't want to put him down. But the Lakers, Bresnahan article, it's like, Jordan's arrived and Jordan's overshadowing Jeremy because Jordan had the 25-point game last game. Well, this is the flip side of that. Jordan did play well in this game. He did. But he also had 4 turnovers, and he struggled down the stretch. So if you're getting rid of JLin and you're going to go with Jordan Clarkson, then you're going to have to deal with that. You're going to have to deal with the inexperience. And or maybe you're maybe Ronnie Price is your guy that's in the game late. So I just want to mention that about Jordan. Kobe was at the game tonight. I don't know why he was at the game because he hasn't been at any games in a long time. They interviewed him, but I did not listen to the interview. I mentioned this in the last video, and I'll say it again. I believe that after tonight, the Lakers have had 12 home games this season without Kobe, and they've sold out 11 of them. That's really good. Now, I'm not saying they don't need Kobe, but if you're the Buss family who owns the team, you have to be thrilled with it. This team is not in contention, and Kobe's not playing, and you're still selling out your home games. That's impressive. And honestly, to be honest with you, that kind of surprises me. But it shows me that the Lakers brand is bigger than any one player. And that the fans still want to come out to see the Lakers, even when they're not doing well and they're having a tough time. The fans are buying into the Lakers' future. They're buying into Clarkson. They're buying into Ed Davis. They're buying into these guys. And that's good. Like I said, it's those figures should give the Lakers management confidence moving out of the Kobe era. You can still keep your fan base. Now, you're not getting as many TV viewers, okay, but you still got to sell tickets. And they're doing that, and you got to give them credit for that. What else can I say about this game? Look, it's just what I mentioned in the first summary. Dallas needed the game more than the Lakers needed it. And they played like that. Dallas has been struggling recently. They've struggled since they got Rondo. And they're losing playoff positioning. If they had lost this game, I think they would have fallen to maybe 7th in the West behind the Spurs. Well, they need to get it together. I mean, Dallas wants to be a championship contender. They made the trade for Rondo to be a championship contender. So it's kind of put up or shut up time for the Mavericks. And they just decided that they weren't going to lose tonight. And that's what happened. It's kind of like what happened to the Lakers in Memphis the other day. Yeah, they played hard, they played tough, and then Memphis said, okay, now it's winning time. And they just turned it up to a level that the Lakers couldn't follow. And that's what happened to the Lakers tonight. I give credit to the Lakers. And again, you have to give credit to Coach Scott or whoever you want to give credit to. They are playing better. They are playing, forget about the offensive style or whatever. The confidence is better. I think the teamwork is better. Overall, it's not perfect, but they're clearly better than what they were a couple months ago without Kobe. They're much better than that now. They can give you a competitive game, even against some of the better teams in the league, which they couldn't do that a few months ago. They really couldn't without Kobe on the floor. So I give them credit. I think if you're the Lakers management, you're probably okay with this outcome. You sold out the building. You gave the fans an entertaining, competitive game, and you lost, which means that your position in the lottery upcoming and your pick that you want to keep is in good shape. So that's about it. I'm okay with Jeremy tonight. I am. I would have liked it if he put up better numbers, but you have to be able to manage adversity. And Jeremy stayed under control in this game, even though it wasn't going his way. And Rick Carlisle, the coach of the Dallas Mavericks, respects Jeremy and knows what Jeremy can do. Carlisle can devise defensive schemes and coverages to slow Jeremy down. And I wouldn't be surprised if he implemented some of that tonight. So I'm not shocked Jeremy had a tough time in this game. He also had a bit of a tough time on defense. He played good defense overall, but when he was matched up against J.J. Barea and when he was matched up against Monte Ellis, he had some struggles. J.J. super, one of these little small, quick guards, which Jeremy can have issues with at times, and Monte's just freakishly athletic. He can give anybody trouble. Nobody can really consistently stay with him. And so there were moments where Jeremy struggled with that. But like I said, despite all of his tough issues in this game, he stayed under control. He played smart most of the time. Yeah, over dribble moment, one or two here, there. Yes, maybe he tried to drive into a stacked defense once or twice, but overall he played well. I think a game like this can help him grow. Like I said, know that you can come back from a little bit of a tough time. Let's go out and have a good game the next game. So this is I'm not disappointed or upset at all. I thought that he approached the game in the right way. So let's move on to the next game. And that game will be coming up on Tuesday here in the United States against the Detroit Pistons. The game will take place at Staples Center in LA at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, March 10th, which means 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, March 10th in the West Coast, on the West Coast. And I have to check the time now because the time has changed, but I believe that means that the game will take place at either 9:30 a.m. or 11:30 a.m. in China, Taiwan, and the Philippines. I can't figure that out in my head right now. I've got to look that up. I think it'll be 11:30 a.m. I believe that is correct. So, but I have to check on that. Sorry, guys. I always messed this up. So, okay, look, that is it for now. We will put information in the video description below the video player so you can go and check out highlights of this game. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Your comments below. What did you see in this game? How did you feel about how Jeremy and the Lakers did? Thanks to Gary Chen for the artwork you're looking at now. We appreciate his letting us use his work. Gary is a part of the Jeremy Only Lin Garden fan club. He is an artist and blogger in Taiwan. We'll include his Facebook information in the video description below the video player. Also there in the video description, how you can join the Conservative Media Facebook group and how you can come follow us on Twitter. We love talking with everybody on Twitter. I know we got something like 4,000 followers or something now, so that's great. We're interacting with everybody. Hopefully we'll see you there as well. Once again, I am PFE Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. Thanks a lot for watching Conservative Media. We strive to be the #1 Jeremy Lin YouTube fan channel. Tough ending of the night for Jeremy, for the Lakers, but I didn't see anything in this game to make me think that Jeremy is getting away from the Linsanity Prime mindset, which is lower risk, more selective on shots, fewer turnovers, and just kind of going with the flow. For the most part of this game, I thought Jeremy stayed in that mode, and that's what we wanted to see from him. That's what we want him to do. So let's put this one in the books, move on to the next game against the Detroit Pistons, and let's see what we get there. Okay, take care. Hope you're having a great night, a great day, wherever you are around the world when you watch this video. Stay warm in the northern hemisphere. Stay cool in the southern hemisphere, although it's starting to change. It's finally starting to warm up here in the northern hemisphere, so we appreciate that. Talk to you soon, and we'll look for you in the YouTube comments and on Twitter.